Mr. Speaker, yesterday, Congressman Massey and I went to the Department of Justice to read the unredacted Epstein files. We spent about 2 hours there, and we learned that 70 to 80% of the files are still redacted. In fact, there were 6 wealthy, powerful men that the DOJ hid for no apparent reason. When Congressman Massey and I pointed this out to the Department of Justice, they acknowledged their mistake, and now they have revealed the identity of these 6 powerful men. These men are Salvatore Navora, Zorab Mikoladze, Leopig Leonor, Nicola Caputa, Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem, CEO of Dubai Ports World, and billionaire businessman Leslie Wexner, who was labeled as a co-conspirator by the FBI. Now, my question is, why did it take Thomas Massey and me going to the Justice Department to get these 6 men's identities to become public? And if we found 6 men that they were hiding in 2 hours, imagine how many men they are covering up for in those 3 million files. But the story gets worse. The reality is that Donald Trump's FBI scrubbed these files in March, long before Thomas Massey and I passed the Epstein Transparency Act. Now, my bill is clear. The Epstein Transparency Act requires them to unredact those FBI files. And yet the Justice Department said to me and to Congressman Massey, we just uploaded whatever the FBI sent us. And guess what? The FBI sent scrubbed files. That means the survivor's statement to the FBI, naming rich and powerful men who went to Epstein's island, who went to his ranch, who went to his home and raped and abused underage girls or saw underage girls being paraded, they're all hidden. They're all redacted. It's a little bit of a farce. They're inviting all the members of Congress to go to see the Department of Justice, quote unquote, unredacted files, but they've got all redacted files from the FBI. And it's not the fault of the Justice Department attorneys. They were just told upload things that Donald Trump's FBI had already scrubbed. It's a blatant violation of the Epstein Transparency Act, but it also asks a fundamental question. Who are they protecting?
Welcome to the Absurdity Space, a show where we are not protecting 6 men. They're not 6
Yeah, we're
men.
not protecting rapists. We're not protecting pedophiles. We're not doing any of that shit here.
Yeah. I am not 6 Epstein co-conspirators in the trench coat. That's definitely true. I'm Forrest Miller. I'm here with Christina Oakes. We are doing the Absurdity Space, episode 8. I gotta get one of those one of those horns for like the sound effects board.
Yeah. And McGraw, featuring McGraw. Apparently,
Yeah,
he's gonna be here. Yeah.
So I wanted to talk about 2 of those names, but one of the big names on there was Sultan Ahmed bin Salam, who's Andrew Farkas. If you know who that is, that's Cuomo's financial person that has been his business partner for the longest time.
Andrew
when they did Island
Epstein.
Yeah. So they did Island Financial. They had this real estate and shipping company that was linked up with the one time Cuomo's ever really worked in the private sector. He ended up going to Dubai and helping Dubai set up basically regulations so that they could build their crazy seashell island thing that they have going on. And the guy that was working with Andrew Farkas to do that was Sultan Ahmed bin Salam, and that is one of the names that are currently on. He leads DP World, so this is port place, right? So they were going up there buying all the ports, and Farkas basically works as a person that fixes and upholds ports. And the thing with Jeffrey Epstein is when he got arrested in 2008 and the FBI kind of took away all of his money, so basically all of his bank accounts were seized at the time, it was Farkas that went and let him buy into the St. Thomas port, which is one of the ones near Little St. James. Let him buy into that port, basically own most of it, buy him out, but really it was Farkas's money. And he basically got to control this port on St. Thomas for the longest time, and then finally sell it back to Farkas, and he got to make all the profit from it, even though it was Farkas' original investment, which is how he got money again after his 2008 seizure. That was Cuomo's business partner / Cuomo was the VP of this guy's company. And every time Cuomo was run for office, which by the time this happened, Cuomo was already running for attorney general. You know, the position where you're not supposed to be in bed with these kinds of people. He was already running for, so he was kind of out of the way at this point. But it's just very interesting that that's one of the names on there.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of weird. You know, before 2008, it's like, yeah, he's a weird rich guy. Cool, I guess. But then, like, after 2008, when it's like, yeah, he is definitely a pedophile, child sex trafficker, people still, with their full chests, wanted to associate with this guy.
Yeah, well, I mean, and I think a lot of it is the fact that he was a child sex trafficker. But recently disclosed documents reveal that Sultan Ahmed bin Salam emailed Epstein in 2015 that he met a girl 2 years ago that went to an American university in Dubai. Was the best sex I ever had. Amazing body. I like how nobody has any grammar in these things. Best sex I ever had. Amazing body. She got engaged, but now she's back with me, he said. So that's one of the names on there. And then the other big name that everyone's talking about is Les Wexner, who's the Victoria's Secret and Abercrombie and Fitch and Bath and Body Works and all of those companies.
Victoria's Secrets too, or something like that. Like I know another CEO, like
CEO for pretty much the longest time.
Jesus Christ.
And he also let one of those like smaller clothes company, like one of the ones that were in a lot of malls. Yeah, he let Epstein buy into
for
it.
For kids. That's a girl's store, okay? That's like, I used to shop there. You know what's funny too is that like a lot of people like, you know who's not on the Epstein files? The CEO of Hot Topic, the CEO of Killstar, the CEO of like gothic clothing stores. It's always the preppy ones. I'm like, thank God. I always got the ick when I'd wear Aeropostale, Abercrombie and Fitch growing up. It's like, nah, I don't feel comfortable wearing this. And now I know why.
Yeah, well, I don't even know who the CEOs of those companies are. I mean, for all I know, they are like the most evil guys in the fucking universe. But I hope not. I hope the CEO of Hot Topic is a real cool guy. But yeah, I found both of those pretty interesting. Of course, like everybody already knew about Lex Wexner. He was like one of Epstein's closest friends and like business associates.
Yeah.
And so that's been knowledge. But like, it's interesting. It seems like they're slowly slow walking out like co-conspirators, because obviously the 2008 deal that Epstein had signed, like no one had even heard of a deal like this before, which is why his intelligence ties were such a big topic of conversation. Because Acosta, who was originally Trump's pick for labor secretary that had to step down, because he was the one that did that deal. He was the first, like one of the early people that are actually in government say, oh no, I was told that I had to give him this deal because of intelligence, which he's basically ratting out the intelligence company or whatever.
Yeah. And Pam Bondi was also in Florida at the time when all this was going down, and she was part of it too, apparently.
Yeah. So I don't know. I found that interesting because the deal that they signed is like an unheard of deal, because it basically said that anybody that had been a co-conspirator in any of Epstein's things, they also got pardoned basically when Epstein did, or not pardoned, but like they basically also got. So it was like everybody involved in it basically got a deal. And then we didn't know those names because they sealed off the records. So very slowly it's coming out like, oh, that's who the co-conspirators are, because there were co-conspirators on the listed or whatever. They said, oh, there are co-conspirators, but any co-conspirators we find can't get punished for this any more than Epstein can, which is insane. Like when you think about that, like it's pardoning people that haven't even been like
tried or anything, or you know, it's like with the hearings today, it's like, all these Republicans are like, oh, this pedophile Jeffrey Epstein, who? Pam Bondi. Donald Trump's such a good president, right? Like, I'm like, what? I'm like, come on, seriously? Like, you guys need to just let it go. Your president's a fucking pedophile who engaged in child sex trafficking. He's a rapist. Just be okay with it and move on. Like,
I thought this was interesting too. This is another. This is Representative Becca Ballant, who's a Vermont representative. I haven't heard of her before this video, but she's being asked because she was one of the people that got to go in and review the DOJ's redacted, unredacted files, right? Because as Rokana was saying, like there still are redacted, even though
hello.
Yeah. there's still redacted, even though they're saying that they're not. But I liked this clip.
Just wanted to ask you, have you had a chance to review any of the unredacted files over at the DOJ, the Epstein files?
I did.
You did?
Yeah, I just came from there.
What can you tell us?
There's a bunch of sick fucks.
And anything more that we don't know? I feel like that's pretty well established.
I know. I think the part that is just so disgusting is that so many people knew.
Did he have any ties to any intelligence agencies? We've established some in our reporting, but wanted to know based on the file.
I only had about a half hour, so I'm going to go back again tomorrow. Okay. So mostly today I was just trying to go through a couple of documents that was particularly interested in finding out.
What were those?
One was related to whether or not Trump, had ever kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago, as he claimed.
What'd you find?
That is not true.
It's a lie.
It's a lie.
Well, what's true too is a lot of people. There was like one sentence that claimed Trump, but because the thing with MAGA is they're trying to justify well, Trump knew he was actually like the guy who leaked all the information that Jeffrey Epstein was doing all this shit. It's like that actually did not happen, and if so, he didn't do any of that. Everyone was like, oh, he was trying to expose Epstein, or because I remember there was one report that said oh, he was trying to expose Epstein. I'm like, no, he wasn't. He wasn't.
Well, it was once. So basically, what happened is in 2000. This is what they're claiming, right? In 2006, once Trump heard that there was an investigation underway, he called up the FBI, or he called up. I guess it was the Palm Beach Police Department that he called up. He called up, the investigating whatever body was investigating, but it was a sheriff, I think, that was saying that he called up. And he was like, oh yeah, you're going after this Epstein guy. Everyone knows he's bad news, but they didn't say that he actually gave information in any capacity.
Yeah, he just wanted to save his own ass.
Yeah, so it seems like somebody that's like, oh, it seems like, yeah, that guy, everyone knows he's pretty bad. Good job, you guys are doing great work. And he hangs up, and it's like, I'm not involved in this.
Yeah, because my uncle was trying to say something. I'm like, he didn't do anything though. He just heard about the investigation and still didn't do anything because he would have been implicated as well.
I did think it was pretty fun. I was imagining a mad guy that he doesn't care that Trump is in the Epstein files or any of that, but he gets really mad that Trump was a snitch. It's like, Trump's a snitch. I knew I couldn't trust this guy.
Don't want to be a rat, am I right? Don't rat your friends. This case, he might be a pedophile and child sex trafficker.
That's one of the big rules from Goodfellas, Never rat on your friends. Yeah, I don't know. It's also crazy how widespread this stuff is. I was looking at even locally to where I live, my brother went to Bard, which is just across the river, and it's part of the files that they released is it's the New Justice Files detail years of friendship between Bard president and Jeffrey Epstein, and it's
God, who did not know this guy and wanted to be friends with him? It's like with Elon Musk. He's like, I never went on the island. I'm like, but you were the Eric Andre meme trying to get the fuck into those parties, okay? Just saying.
Which, if you know anything about Bard, it has the Hannah Arendt Center, which people are always like, oh, she didn't speak out about Israel, the right? She must have been a Fed. I don't think that's necessarily true, but it's interesting that I believe that Epstein gave something like $155,000 to Bard at random times. He'd also helicopter in with his girls and be allowed to tour the campus. And Leon Botstein, who's still the president of Bard, by the way, this legendary educational figure, was very. I mean, they're the picture of the center, they're hanging out together. That's one of the pictures from the files. It's he's been president of Bard since the 70s. So he's been president of Bard for 50 years. This guy.
How did Jeffrey Epstein go from being a simple high school teacher or what the fuck to money, rich, wealthy, elite? Everyone's oh, it's because he had to blackmail people. I'm like, how? He was just a simple teacher.
Well, I mean, the school that he went to, the school he was teaching at was the Dalton School, which is the one that all the elite kids go to. And he was hired by Bill Barr's father, it seems like. which is like one of the reasons that it was
Well, I
No,
mean, in
Trump,
the
but-
files, it kind of confirmed that he and Trump had him killed. So, also, I'm writing a new musical based on Jacques Brel's Alive and Well Living in Paris, titled Jeffrey Epstein's Alive and Well Living in Tel Aviv. I look forward to becoming a 5-time Tony Award-winning writer, playwright, director. You know, it's gonna be fun. I'm excited.
But it's like it's one of those things where it's like, you know, it's like one of the most, he didn't even have a college degree, right? Like he didn't go to college,
Yeah.
with no background in college, and he got hired to work at the Dalton School, which you know, shout out to my good friend and former employer Katie Halper went there, Matt Iglesias went there. Like there's like it's kind of the it's like the elite kind of high school that, you know, that a lot of kids whose parents are, not saying that, you know, Katie Halper's parents are, well, they're pretty loaded. Her mom's like a famous writer, but who I've met, who's very, very nice. She wrote a bunch of stuff on the Gulf War that's really, really good. But yeah, so like a lot of, you know, like elite like,
but not
like
Matt Iglesias though.
Well, his dad was also a novelist or something, like his dad was, so he was, his parents were like loaded. So yeah, so it's like, but that's where he kind of went, and then it seems like from there that's where he established all his connections. Now it begs the question, you know, he's teaching kids at that point. So it's like, you know, but it's also, those are the kids of the elite, and those are the kids you probably usually don't touch. But it doesn't seem like Epstein had those class differentiations, because he was literally like trying to marry the daughter of his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
And so like he was like, oh, if I can marry Eva Dubin's daughter, I'll pass along all my money to her. And she was like a teenager at the time. So it doesn't seem like those class distinctions were like a barrier necessarily, but I don't know. From there, he basically was able to get I think it was Bear Stearns that he got a job at from there. And then basically everyone was saying he's the best guy with money ever. And it's like all these people that have like entire staffs, like that's their excuse. They're like, oh well, I wanted him to do my taxes. Peter Thiel, I wanted him to do my taxes. He helped me with my taxes. And it's like, there's no way that like this guy just happens to be. He's like they're making it sound like
an accountant.
They're making it sound like Good Will Hunting, like.
Yeah.
He's like the Dalton School, he's like a janitor, and he solves the equation on the board, and everyone's like, that's how you do the taxes. This guy is so good at taxes. So it seems like that's kind of the excuse that all these people were giving. I was watching the Joe Rogan Peter Thiel interview, where Peter Thiel's like, well, I wanted help with my taxes, and Joe Rogan does not follow up. And it's like, he's like, he knew a lot about taxes. It's like, there's no way that this guy is like,
he knew about taxes.
Well, I mean, I'm sure he knows about taxes, but he doesn't come off as particularly smart, or like there was this one thing that I was listening to Truman on, and they were going through like one of the things that he was sending around to people, including Chomsky. He was talking about movement plus objects. He was like, this is called mobjects, and this is a new scientific force that I've created. It's called mobjects, and it's M plus objects. And he's like wrote all these notes to himself. He's like, show Chomsky, you know, mobjects. They're gonna be whatever. I don't know. It's like some crazy shit that only like a rich dullard could come up with.
I feel like also like you know, because a lot of people are like, what is Norman Finkelstein to us? I'm like, he's basically like Jordan Peterson. You know, he's smart-ish. He has some weird beliefs, but he does have a very similar cadence and pitch. Apparently, wasn't he also like defending like Chomsky's association with Epstein or something like that? Like everyone, like so many people were defending Chomsky's. I'm like, sorry, but no, I can't.
Well,
sorry.
He appears in the files because they tried to bring him in to talk to. He obviously has a blood feud with Alan Dershowitz because Alan Dershowitz got him fired from his job, and basically Alan Dershowitz and Epstein were trying to get Norman Finkelstein to talk to them or do something, and he cursed them out in one of the emails and called them pedophiles. And that's like one of the few places that anyone actually stands up to them in any of the emails. He's like, tell them they are pedophiles. And it's like he's one of the few people that comes out looking better than he did after.
Oh, Norman. But actually, Forrest, you gotta sound more like Jordan Peterson, because that's who he sounds like.
Yeah, I don't think he sounds like he has like a cartoonishly Jewish voice. He's like, I don't know. It's like it sounds like there's like peanut butter in his mouth when he talks. But I don't know. I think Norman Finkelstein's work on Israel is really good.
Just don't ask him about trans rights or anything like that.
Yeah,
We'll be fine.
He kind of, I don't know. He went crazy with the cancel culture thing, but a lot of it was that he got Dershowitz did, and you know, it was a big thing to push him out of to push him out of the university that he worked at because he heard Sam Cedar as a tweet in the files. Man, Sam Cedar tweets something like, it's like, I have information that will lead to the arrest of Hillary Clinton.
Oh no, wait. Oh shit, I gotta catch up on the majority report today. That's not good. I mean, well, it's like when Jon Stewart, it's like a lot of people are like, oh my god, I can't believe these people are in the files. I'm like, yeah, but they're mentioned. They're not like associates of Epstein. Like there's so many people that are mentioned in the files, but if you're mentioned like a million times like Donald Trump, you cannot escape that. I'm sorry.
Wait, here's
like Jon Stewart had to defend himself. He's like, first of all, I'm in the files, but it's not like that.
Yeah, well, no. The thing was very funny because they're trying to rehabilitate Woody Allen. I've been so deep into like listening to.
Why would they? Who in their right mind would try to rehabilitate Woody Allen? The man fucking groomed his pseudo stepdaughter.
They were neighbors and essentially best friends, and like, Sandee was also like best friends with Epstein. Like she's all over the files, just emailing him and texting it. Like I was kind of impressed. I was impressed with Sandee because I didn't know that she could spell better than Epstein and Woody. She's like, and she actually writes incoherent sentences.
I remember because Woody Allen and Mia Farrow have like 20 kids, right? Or somewhat. Well, also too, she also has like a bunch of kids that were adopted with like her second or first husband or whatever. No, second husband because she was married to Frank Sinatra. But like when that documentary, I think it was on HBO, that came about like how about him molesting Dylan, his one stepdaughter. Like a huge chunk of their kids are pro Woody Allen, like they're for their dad. He did nothing wrong. Mia was the one who groomed her daughter and abused her, manipulated her into thinking something happened. And then you got like Rowan Farrow and a few others who are like, yeah, that he's a piece of shit. And it's like Mia Farrow not associated with Epstein, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I don't think she. Well, the only way that she's probably in the Epstein files is Sandee and
bitching about his ex-wife.
Yeah. Well, Woody's like. It's actually a lot of the stuff that seems like it's from Woody when you actually read it is from Sandee.
Yeah,
it's like because she uses Woody in the third person for a lot of it, and it's like it's clearly written by somebody else. She's asking Epstein. She's like, "Oh, for Christmas, I've decided I no longer want an Apple Watch. That was one of the ones that stood out to me. She was like, I no longer want an Apple Watch. I want this iPhone or something instead." And she's like, "If you were Woody, you could get it to me."
she seems very evil and calculating. Like I'm like, yeah, like she really,
but also seems like pretty I think what she went through probably like really fucked her up too. I mean, not but
she could have changed it, but
yeah, but I'm saying like I think that the way that her kind of story was rolled out, like and her relationship with the press and all that stuff, like I'm assuming that like it went further into like radicalizing somebody into like the depths of being like a anti-cancel culture extremist. Pretty much.
Yeah, because I unfortunately know people who are friends with Woody Allen and they came, when that documentary came out, a lot of people were like, well, he did not raise her. And I'm like, but it's still kind of weird that he knew her, considering, like, I don't understand, like, the defense of this relationship. Like, I don't understand it. Like, I'm like,
Dick Cabot's in the files a bunch of times because
no, my buddy Dick Cavett, what?
There's these pictures. People are making fun of these pictures because it's Woody Allen in this huge, like, almost Bernie. Remember Bernie had the mittens?
Yes.
So he's basically in a coat that size, but he has a giant hood on and like a face thing covering him, and he's obviously like very old. Like it's old ass Woody. So it's like within the last couple decades, right? Like, and then behind him is like Dick Cavett and then Epstein, and they're like walking into like a premiere because there was all these times where Epstein would apparently go on set to Woody Allen's movies, and when he was filming everything, I guess he did not like Blue Jasmine. That was the one movie he fucking hated. He said. I've been in too deep trying to read some of this stuff, but this is what I was talking about. From Epstein's files and Mobjects, mental objects. Epstein had all these sessions with Chomsky and Bach and Maria Gormley about Mobjects, but not as mathematical graphs, but for a project he was working on called Deception and Morphism and Miracles. And there's all these crazy things written into these things where it's like they're all spelled wrong too. Artist map Mobjects onto exterior space. Writer, painter, singer, Danvers, speaker. Philosophy maps Mobjects to Mobjects. The rule of notation, external memory, accepted currency, but it's double spaced for transmissions through time, music writing, painting. Trust convertible map, i.e. notes into music, letters into sound. External, boundary, consciousness, membrane, common sense, not interesting, same as animals. Question, why, how, when? Exploration of the non-common space. Evolution of intelligence. Questions are a better measure of intelligence than answers. Gee, is time related? But related is spelled wrong. What is fixed? Same. Mother's always mother. Glass always glass. Not subject to morphisms. Fixed categories. Mother gives to son. Non-communicative. One-way function. Hate. Non-associate. Spelled wrong. Mother hates son. Son hates sister. Does not mean mother hates sister. I don't know what the fuck these notes are, but it's like going deep into somebody's mind that's just an insane person.
You know who I'm really thinking about these days? King. I can still call him Prince Charles. He's probably loving this shit right now with his brother because Elizabeth always favored Andrew for some fucking reason, knowing she had like 3 other kids, right? And yeah, he's like, yeah, we're really getting in on my brother now. This is the sweetest revenge I could ever get. I was a fuck boy, but my brother, pedophile, sex trafficker. Okay, I'm just saying, I look good. Okay, I might cheat on the people's princess, but
so Stephen Tisch, who's our buddy Jessica Tisch, the New York the NYPD commissioner that Zoran kept on. Her cousin, Zoran, Conor of the Giants, is all over those files.
Oh yeah, the New York Giants. Anyway,
Ehud Barak. I saw the picture today of the map that Ehud Barak drew of Israel because Epstein had him draw a map of Israel. On the.
I'm tired of people downplaying Jeffrey Epstein's ties to Israel, saying it's anti-Semitic. I'm like, no, stop, no.
He was in business with Ehud Barak. They started this company. And the company, the one purpose of the company was to buy an Israeli tech thing that does wait, let me find the name of this so I don't get it wrong. But yeah, so it's hang on. They were buying a bunch of Israeli companies, and it was called Reporty, which is such a stupid name, but I guess the name now is Carbine, and it does emergency services technology. So basically,
Carbine. I've seen commercials for that.
Yeah, so basically it was bought, like a big share of it was bought by Ehud Barak, and it turns out that the money that Ehud Barak put up was mostly Epstein's money, and they started a company together to buy out the shares of this Israeli tech firm, and they went to pretty much they were going around basically also being like consultants for various countries, so that's where the Mongolia-Israel deal came in. They went to Mongolia and they made a security deal. There's so many people in it. I mean, yeah, like as the chat.
Like who wasn't it? You know who's on the Epstein? Yeah, the guy who the Democrats want to write Project 2029. Yeah, that guy. Yeah. And they don't intend on letting him go.
He resigned from Project 2029, which I hate that every time the Democrats want to do something like that, they just copy whatever they're like, oh, Republicans got a guy running for president that's a TV guy. We got to get like Jon Stewart in there. And it's like, no, you don't. I hate that.
No. And also too, it's like Project 2025, whatever, it's been like a 40+ year plan in the making. Like you can't be rushing this shit, guys. Like, but also too, Forrest, will you today on this space make a pledge? Even though 3 years, it's gonna be in 3 years. Will you support Gavin Newsom right now? If not, you're responsible for
campaign manager. I'm Gavin Newsom's campaign manager. And
oh my god, the fact that we're already doing this, I'm like, this is why I'm not gonna vote, guys. Like, can we please like really, does Hassan Piker really matter that in the end? Like, well, he could be a big influence. Really, can he though? Like, he's a dumbass Twitch streamer. I'm sorry. I saw the clips and I'm like, oh Jesus Christ, here we go.
I don't think I can take I don't think I can take it seriously if it really did end up being JD Vance and Gavin Newsom, because they look to me, JD Vance looks like the heat miser and Gavin Newsom looks like the snow miser from
yeah, they don't have any charisma. They both look like cartoon villains. Like JD Vance is always like
they just remind me of the snow miser and the heat miser. And I remember they put them on the Altoids box. So they had the 2 flavors of Altoids that were going, and that's all I'm gonna think about the entire time they're running for president.
Because a lot of people are like, well, if we want to protect trans rights, Gavin Newsom, and protect the homeless, Gavin Newsom in this country, Gavin Newsom is the guy to support. I'm like, no, because he's passed anti-trans and anti-homeless legislation in California. What are you talking about?
He literally went to the he personally did these stunts where he went to all of these like massive encampments and started taking.
It was removing their stuff.
Yeah. But he probably went through it and was like, I'll keep this, I'll keep this, I'll keep this. He's also another person that like dates 19-year-olds. He was like 36 years old or something, and he was dating a fucking 19-year-old girl.
Before he married Kimberly Goforth, before she got all that shit done to her face.
Yeah. It's so it's like another person that's like, oh, let's get another at least close to the line, maybe not a pedophile, but close to the line, a guy that likes teenagers. Let's get another one of those.
I just don't understand why we have to have this conversation now and pick our guy, anoint him before there's a primary. I'm like, do we really have to do this again, guys? How many times do Democrats and liberals have to realize that you can't be saying we don't need the left and then blame the left when your guy loses? It's not our fault. You told us you don't need us.
By the way, the Steve Bannon one with Epstein is interesting because Steve Bannon was basically pushed out of the Trump orbit, like momentarily at least, in I think 2017. If you remember Roy Moore, Steve Bannon was in Roy Moore's corner, and Ivanka Trump was trying to, because that was when Ivanka Trump was still like Trump's big advisor, her and Jared Kushner.
Yeah,
right?
She was like trying to like toe the line and be like, don't be too extreme, Dad. And now she's like nowhere to be found.
Well, so basically, her husband's the guy that's gonna control the Gaza, whatever, the Gaza
Strip,
and he was also the guy that bought TikTok. He's like part of that whole deal.
And they're also friends with Beyonce and Jay-Z. Of course they can't be too.
But so the Steve Bannon thing, right? So after finding out that Steve Bannon or that Roy Moore was fucking statutory raping a 16-year-old when he was running for Senate, right? Like Steve Bannon stuck by his side, and then he got slowly pushed out of the Trump orbit because at that time they were still trying to do we don't love pedophiles that much. It makes me wonder, like, I don't think now that would be like, I think now Trump would have gone all in on Roy Moore.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna say more Roy. I want more Roy. I want more of this guy.
Yeah, not Roy Cohn though.
They put it really well in like Chapo, where they're talking about like the Trump administration basically declared war on articles, because when Trump won, there were constantly like these articles, and they would like kind of cave after a while. There'd be like a bunch of articles. And it seems like they're really sticking with people now, because it's like, we're not gonna let articles get the best of us. And like because they were overly sensitive to it. Not overly sensitive, but like they felt like their press would like consume them, I guess, in the first one. And now they're like, no, if an article says fire somebody, we're sticking with them. So I think now Roy Moore could have done all kinds of things and they would have stuck with him. But at the time, that got Steve Bannon pushed out of Trump's orbit because he kept clashing with Ivanka Trump. And that's when Epstein kind of crawled in and was like trying to lure him in. And that's where the entire plan to make a documentary so good that it was going to exonerate Epstein. But really what Steve Bannon was doing was media training, and he was getting all his guys hired on the payroll with Epstein, just in case I think the Trump thing didn't work out. And then eventually he got put back into Trump's orbit. Like a couple years later, they were friendlier with him, and he didn't warn Epstein that the law was coming for him.
Every time I think of Steve Bannon, I think of that interview. I think it was 60 Minutes where he's like, I'm the superior white race or what the fuck, and like he's got like a muscle spasm in his cheek or whatever going on. I'm like, ew.
But the other thing one of the other things I wanted to talk about was I know you talked about this yesterday. The Discord,
man.
Yeah, facial recognition kind of stuff. If you want to summarize some of it, or at least what you.
Yeah. So after the UK implemented a thing where it's like you have to show your government ID, there was a massive, without any thought of protecting or having a backup plan. There was a massive leak. People's identities got stolen, government ID information got stolen, and now the US is like, let's do that too, and because it was such a good idea in the UK with great success. And props to Lorenzo for being on top of this shit.
EU countries like Spain, I think, is starting it now.
Yeah. Well, now you can't even have you need age verification for VPNs now, and it's like, what the fuck's the point of a VPN if it's not just to watch porn, guys. There's like there's like certain things that like information that you can't find everywhere, you know, like I just
Discord
or
announced
like
Monday
watch
that
stuff on streaming shows or something like that too. Like
Discord announced Monday that it's rolling out age verification on its platform globally, starting next month, when it would automatically set all users' accounts to teen appropriate experience unless they demonstrate that they're adults. For most adults, age verification won't be required, as Discord's age interference model uses account information such as account tenure, device and activity data, and aggregated high-level patterns across Discord communities. Discord does not use private messages or any other message content in this process. And one of the things that they're rolling out is that you would have to, I'm trying to find this in the article, but they're doing facial recognition stuff for it. So basically you have to scan your face into the phone, and that's how you prove, like, you know, who you are, which I was looking into facial recognition stuff for my new tech startup, Face AI. No, but Apple just recently did their second biggest acquisition of all time. And it's for an Israeli, it's always a fucking Israeli company, but it's for an Israeli company. It's called QAI, which is they spent $2 billion to buy this thing where it reads micro movements, which is like the creepiest shit you'll experience, because it's like basically looking at your face and looking at the tiny targeted movements that your face makes, like the twitches and like the, you know, like just whatever expressions, like the micro expressions that your face makes. It's almost
the nuances.
At least the sales pitch for it that I saw is like they could basically guess what you're feeling and what you're gonna say, like what you're gonna want before you even kind of know yourself.
Listen, I mean, and I was talking about this yesterday too. I mean, we've been on the internet long enough for them to decipher how old we are, right? You mean to tell me that you cannot figure that out? It's just they want our information, just in case if we say something and step out of line. That is it. And in the world where most of the Super Bowl commercials were fucking AI, pro surveillance state ads, as someone who was filmed at a dog sitting customer's house, I do not like the idea of us normalizing this shit. Because we're gonna be blurring the lines of what's considered, you know, protected under law or not. We might as well throw away voyeurism laws at this point, because it's gonna be expected for people to have cameras hidden in their homes, regardless of where they are.
So this company, 30% of the staff were called up to reserve duty on October 7th. So they're in the deepest part of the IDF. But yeah, so it's the move may be a component of Apple's strategy for wearable products such as smart glasses, which, I mean, don't get smart glasses. Like, I feel like that should be something that doesn't need to be said, right? Like, don't get smart glasses. Like, you don't need to, you don't need them. But yeah, it's like the craziest targeted facial recognition software that they've ever really come up with, or at least that's how they're marketing it. I don't know how much you can ever trust any tech company that's like their sales pitch, because it's like if you listen to their sales pitch on AI, it's like the user experience for AI is nothing like they're like, oh, by the way, the film industry is over, and AI can actually think for itself. AI now has, and it's like, no, it can't. It's looking at patterns and it's trying to answer questions based on patterns, and it's like you guys are doing like anthropomorphism or whatever, like where animals are basically putting like human and animal like instincts into something yourself. Like this is
not the future the Jetsons, you know, portrayed. I'm just saying, I wanted flying cars. I wanted, you know, food being made immediately. Like, this is not the future I wanted. Okay.
The other thing that, you know, I mean, I'd one day like to talk to Taylor Lorenz about this, but they're doing a big push now to weaken Section 230. It's going to have a huge impact on like online speech, because it's going to mean that, you know, now any group of people can just sue tech companies, which before that, obviously, since 1996 has basically been protected.
You
know, there's a conversation definitely to be had about regulation and how that kind of stuff works, because I think
look at Elon Musk's Twitter. I mean, in a time where, you know, parents can sue TikTok for their kids developing an eating disorder, I'm like, no, that's not TikTok's fault. That's your fault for not monitoring or putting some type of like parental blockage or whatever settings on what your child consumes on the internet. Like I remember, I mean, boomers, we were lucky to have boomer parents, us millennials, because they were learning about the internet and cable packages and parental controls like we were. And now it's like parents, parents, what? Parents will see like, a Hulu show where it's like a R-rated Hulu show and be like, oh my God, look what they're exposing my kids to. I'm like, but that's not Hulu's fault. They actually have the option of where you got the kid's profile for your child, so they don't see that stuff. Why are you guys acting so dumb? You have the technology at your hands. Use it.
Yeah, well, I don't know. My parents they basically thought that if I got into an online chat room, I'd get instantly abducted by somebody who pulled a vent. Like my parents.
See, I wasn't allowed in chat rooms. See the AOL thing, they blocked me from being in chat rooms, but I was on BroadwayWorld.com talking to adults about musical theater. But that was fine. But like my grandmother, my Uma, would get like a weekly report on like what websites I was on, and she's like, "What's this fanfiction.net?" And I'm like, "Nothing. I'm not reading Yuri. I'm not reading rated M stuff. I'm not learning about sex." That's actually how I learned about sex.
Was from some person.
Fan fiction. Shit.
I created the Communications Decency Act enacted in 1996. I got the year right, at least. Provides legal online platforms by shielding them from liability for user-generated content. So basically,
we should just be able to sue Elon Musk, though. I feel like at this point, we should be suing Elon Musk because look, that's why Elon
Musk for all of his other companies, right? Like, I mean, he's done a very good job at shielding himself from liability in other ways. Which, basically, if you have one of his self-driving cars and your self-driving car crashes and you touch the wheel at all,
you sold your soul.
Basically, you are now the person that was driving, even if you fall forward during a car accident, right? Like, because there was someone whose head got taken off in a car accident, and it got caught. It got caught on video that they weren't touching it. They were like this. They were under a bridge. Their head clean got taken off, but they fell forward, and because it registered like, oh, there was a hand that touched the. Of a dead person, a hand touched the wheel, right? Like then all of a sudden, then they're the ones that are driving, despite the fact that they're dead at that point. He's shielded himself from liability in a lot of other ways, but his other companies are open.
But also too with the whole like Grok making CSAM and inappropriate content because perverts online are doing that. What does the 230 do for that? Nothing really. I mean, I know they're trying to. There's ways to do it without suppressing speech. There are ways to protect people's experience on the internet without suppressing speech. Okay, like that's
things like I mean, revenge porn is already illegal, right? Like and you're basically asking Grok, right? The word Grok. You're basically asking Grok to make revenge porn for you. So that should already be covered under the law. You don't need to repeal, Section 230 for that. You don't need to even amend Section 230 for that. So like that's kind of a different thing. But I wanted to highlight this because number one, because I wanted to beat the tail of the Wrens. Nobody on the left is talking about Section 230 allegations.
Yeah, I feel like so many people are inserting themselves in that drama just to clap. But also, too, they take it back to like Hassan, and it's like, you people really need to stop doing like the fucking like Hassan gravy train hate. What like the well will run dry. Okay, like I know people get bored. I know people get bored on the internet, and they feel like starting drama is how. Stop, please stop.
Yeah, well, so
not original. You're saying the same shit over and over again. Just stop. It's not.
It's but I do think that that's a big deal, and I think that right now there's so much shit that's happening in all sectors, right? Like it's hard as someone that's trying to keep up with the news to keep track of everything that's happening at the same time. There's just every single part of
because you can't have fun, Forrest. We cannot be having fun and enjoying stuff. Hello.
I mean, we're the king. We're the king of having fun and enjoying podcasting, but
yeah, really. I mean, last night really showed it.
that was a blast. But I did want to I wanted to highlight that. Did you see the videos of like Joseph Gordon-Levitt? He's like standing in front of the he's like my kids are online, and that's why I think we should repeal this. It's in Project 2025. It's like part of their Project 2025 outline to repeal Section 230, because that means that pretty much any conservative group can go to a social media site and say, oh, we don't like this. We don't like that people are able to post this, so we're going to sue. And just the threat of the lawsuit, right? The fact that they're allowed to. Audrey just got in.
And then we're going to get another like Larry Ellison owning TikTok or whatever. Like, I'm tired of joining all these new social media apps. I really don't hit it like Twitter does. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even Blue Sky is like, look at us, and it's like, you're banning trans and pro-Palestinian accounts. Shut up. You're no.
It shows our version of like authoritarian takeover is not going to have the same kinds of I guess mechanisms as somewhere like, I mean, you know, if you're looking at somewhere like North Korea or like Russia, where somebody goes to prison for somebody goes to prison for speech or something like that, we're not going to have exactly that, right? A lot of times it's going to be lawsuits, because we do more lawsuits than any nation on earth. We're the lawsuit nation, and just that has a cooling effect. And it's like, so then when you talk to people and you're like, listen, this is creeping authoritarianism, they're repealing our rights one by one, it's like, oh well, you can still legally say anything you want. And it's like, well, like maybe under the law, but they found ways around that. They found ways basically to do corporate authoritarianism. Like
yeah.
It's like we're trusting corporations, which we shouldn't be. Social media should be nationalized in some capacity. Of course, then you would have something like the Trump administration, and it's hard to take that together, but it's not working the way it is now. You know, it's not working.
No.
It needs to have some kind of something protecting it, so that, you know, billionaires can't just do shitification every time social media they're like, oh, we can mine more ads out of this. So there needs to be, digital platforms need to have something where it's like the rights are protected. That's clearly not working under this way of doing things.
And even if a Democrat becomes president, a lot of Democrats are very supportive of like this big tech nonsense, and it's like, really, guys, like, come on.
Yeah, I'm reminded of
you're just capitulating to fucking, like, you know, you're just capitulating to fucking Larry Ellison owning TikTok. Like, what? And now they're like, oh my god, I can't believe it's this bad. I can't believe, you know, Larry Ellison would, you know, own TikTok and suppress it and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, no shit. We said this from day one when you were toying with the idea of a TikTok ban.
Well, it reminds me so much of Eddington
now.
Which Eddington is like the movie of last year. It feels like, where it's like Pedro Pascal is basically the mayor whose big thing is the data center.
Where has Pedro Pascal been? He doesn't seem to be everywhere anymore, you know.
And I agree that laws are made by man. It could just as easily be ignored by man. But I do think that like things are designed to not protect any of these things. And it seems like the way that our version of creeping authoritarianism has worked since the early 2000s, if not, I mean, definitely earlier, but like, especially since, you know, like the Patriot Act, like the way that they do it is death by 1,000 cuts. And it's like, all of your rights are still there on paper, but it's like, you know, they find ways around that. Yeah. Like the Fourth Amendment, like, it's gone. Like people obviously love to talk about the Second Amendment, which it seems like that's even going with
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't, with the Alex Pretty nonsense. They're like, he had a gun on him. Can you believe that? He was gonna. I'm like, you guys are giving up the one right that y'all have been clinging to for how many decades now? Oh God, this is bad.
But like the Fourth Amendment, right? People don't talk about that as much. I mean, I hate being like, people don't talk, because obviously, like, there are people within the like, especially within the that are doing like civil rights work and that are doing civil liberties work that obviously have talked a lot about the Fourth Amendment. But it's like, you know, unreasonable search and seizure, not having your house just kind of busted into by ICE agents, pretty much. Like, that's just been gutted. That's gone. That's been gone. I mean, that's been gone since the Patriot Act. Like, one little bit at a time, and it's like they figured out death by 1,000 cuts works because it's the same thing. I mean, this is kind of like, I don't know, libs love using this metaphor, but it's like the frog in the boiling pot, where it's like people don't notice it because the pot gets hotter and hotter, and it's like, in some ways that's kind of true. Like, it feels like that's the way that they've been taking away all of our rights one by one for the longest time. Well, if you hear jingling running around, and Audrey. She's in the living room. Sometimes I wonder if putting like a jingly collar on a dog, like if it ever gets annoying for them.
For the dog?
Yeah.
They would be trying to get it off. You know?
Yeah, she likes it. She likes going like this, and then the collar goes. Oh shit! Telecommunications Act. I'm not good at speaking today because I barely got sleep since last night. But Telecommunications Act of 1996 became law 30 years ago today. Well, 30 years ago, I guess 3 days ago, because it's February 11th.
Yeah, it's the 11th of February.
So yeah, it became law, you know, Pretty much
Also,
30 years ago.
I got some bad news. Very bad news. Mitch McConnell checked himself out of the hospital.
Did you see the tweet that I had that I was like, Mitch McConnell watched the Bad Bunny halftime show and then died?
Yeah. Yeah, but I just want to drink my beer, pray to God. You know, we can't do that anymore, Forrest. We can't, some black TikToker was like, I just want to lynch. I was like, whoa there. Okay. You know, but you know what? That's basically what the lyrics are saying at this point. I'm like, what's wrong with drinking? Like, I'm like, but that's all country music sounds like to me today. Is they all want to drink their beer, pray to God, wear their boots, beat their wives.
Like, I kept watching when I was like getting ready for yesterday.
Bo Burnham.
I was like, the Bo Burnham thing where he's like, cold beer, nice truck. But he's
like, noun and adjective. I'm like, and I tell my mom this. I'm like, Mom, at least hip hop, even though hip hop kind of like, it all sounds the same now too. It's still more popular than country, but it's like, this is not what Johnny Cash wanted for his genre, man. Even some of the more like songs with substance are so controversial. Like I remember when that song "Girl Crush" came out, everyone was like, "Oh my god, lesbians!" And it's like, it's not about that. It's about jealousy over a guy, an ex's new girlfriend. Like that's it.
No, well, I mean, yeah, like the Dixie Chicks, even like cancel.
Goodbye, Earl.
I don't know. I just I mean it's all pop, right? Like it's pop, hip hop, and pop country. Like because there's a lot of there's a lot of good rap. It's not necessarily the rap that gets radio play.
Most rap these days is actually popular within like the Latin genre these days. Like the Bad Bunnies, like that's what most people Despacito, like that's what most people listen to now. Believe it or not, it's like it's not really English anymore.
I have such good memory. Like, like when you think back on something, I always think back on 2019, 2020, when it was like right before, because my life was great. Like literally the 2 months before the pandemic, my life was great.
Yeah.
But I went to Vieques and I was going around in the Jeep. Like we rented the Jeep. We were visiting like my cousins and like my aunt or great aunt, like my dad's cousin. Like we were visiting them, and they have like a hotel, and they rented us they lent us a Jeep. And we were going around the Jeep, and I was just bumping the 100X Pre, like the Bad Bunny album from like 2018, and it was on the radio all the time, and I had like these mini speakers, and I was like bumping Bad Bunny in the car, and I was having such a good time, and I didn't know that like in 3 weeks the world was going to shut down from COVID.
I think my life was good in 2012. I feel like we all died in 2012 because life just gotten progressively worse.
Did you you wanted to be a part of a stomp clap band? Like, hey, I don't know.
Our graduation song was "We Are Young" by Fun. So I was like, this is the most, since the graduation song by Vitamin C, this is the most graduation song that could graduate. Yeah.
I felt like such a hipster about Fun because I really liked their older stuff before they got like big with like We Are Young, and I was like, they had some pretty fucking good songs when they were like pretty indie. Like they weren't like ever super indie, but like they were like kind of.
Then they had like 2 songs that became mainstream, and we haven't heard about them again.
Yeah, it ruined it. They had like a couple like good albums, and I was like, hell yeah, this shit's good. I like that guy's voice a lot.
Nathan, what's his face?
Yeah, Nate Ruiz.
He did that duet with Pink, and I'm like, oh, Pink is such a big Zionist now. Blech.
Yeah, well, like All the Pretty Girls was a song that I really liked, and like all the pretty girls on a Saturday night. That was like, I don't know, in like 2010, that was my shit.
I remember when the Vice trailer dropped, right? And they used the man because I'm a huge Killers fan. And they used the man come round. I was like, oh, this is a good song to use for a trailer.
I feel like everybody that was like born around us is born around the time we were has to be like a Killers fan. Like, I've never heard someone be like, yo, I hate the Killers.
Yeah, they're like even black folks are like Killers, white bands that just, they do it. They just do it for us. Because I remember Mr. Brightside like debuted like the music video. I was like, I'm like, this is giving me Moulin Rouge. I like it.
I feel like I came preloaded with the lyrics of Mr. Brightside the same way that like an iPhone comes preloaded with U2.
Yeah. Oh God, that's
I don't even remember hearing it the first time.
I was like, oh yeah. I was like, yeah, coming out of my kitchen. I was like, yeah, this is cool. I like this. And then fucking YouTube was like, let's put this for. I think the YouTube album is still on my fucking Apple, whatever. But it's like, we hate Bono, okay? Like, what's so funny about like the whole like, Super Bowl? Well, what's so funny? With the Super Bowl halftime show, a lot of people are like, we need like pages. I'm like, you're looking at the U2 post 9/11 Super Bowl halftime show. That's what you want, but we can't have that. You know why? Because we can't be having a 9/11 every fucking year before the Super Bowl. I'm just saying.
Bono needs his version of like a Sean Penn playing Colonel Lockjaw moment to like come back because I feel like Sean Penn in my mind.
Does he like British girls? He probably does. He's basically a traitor to Ireland.
Yeah, but I feel like Sean Penn in my mind is like similar to Bono, that he's like, I don't know, he's like a Fed.
Yeah.
But then I don't know, like now Sean Penn in my mind is just like, you like black girls, I love him, and it's like he's been not rehabilitated because he's a fucking crazy maniac who beat the fuck out of women, but he's been like, now I'm just gonna think of that every time, and it's like Bono needs a version of that, which he never is gonna have because he's lazy as fuck. But
yeah, I will never forgive the Grammys for giving album of the year to U2 instead of like fucking Bad for Michael Jackson. Man, they were like, we gave Michael all those Grammys for Thriller, and I'm like, yeah, but really, was U2 better than Michael Jackson that year? I don't think so. Anyway.
I feel like we need, like, I feel like musicians need to do a new version of We Are the World. Like,
have you ever remember when they did it for Haiti, but then SNL did one called We Are the World 3 to help the We Are the World 2 disaster. That shit was funny as hell because at the end, Kenan Thompson was Quincy Jones. He was like, that was pretty bad too.
Well, you could tell they were trying to do a version of We Are the World when Gal Gadot did the Imagine in the middle of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, what the fuck is this?
I was like, oh god, this is gonna be bad.
Living for today. Kelal, no. Imagine all the people. Imagine all the people living for not Palestinians though, not them. Imagine all the people except Palestinians living for today. Like imagine there's no Gaza and it's like, Gal, no.
No. You would be saying that for sure. Oh Jesus Christ, that's when I knew shit was gonna be bad. I'm like, oh god, they're gonna have all these celebrities go together to sing Imagine. Oh god, no.
I knew it was gonna be bad when now I don't remember her name. The girl was in
Vanessa Hudgens. She's like, people are gonna die, and I'm like, oh Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And I was like, damn.
It's sad, but people are gonna die. I'm like, imagine saying that during the AIDS crisis. You know what? People did say that. Reagan
a lot of people said that during the AIDS crisis.
But they weren't caught like doing this on like a TikTok or an Instagram live.
it is, and then we can pass it off to our buddies, but. It is crazy to go back to like the Spanish flu epidemic, right? Like the last big pandemic. Obviously AIDS was too, but like the last big like random kind of pandemic that happened.
Airborne, yeah.
And it's like Woodrow Wilson and like all of them, they did not bring it up. They just never. I mean, Woodrow Wilson got fucking Spanish flu and almost died, and had another like that's when his stroke started. That like left him. His like wife was president basically for a year. But it's like he was basically he never mentioned it. He never once said anything about it. And it's like. Trump could have just done that probably. I mean, it's like.
But then because he got COVID. Oh my god, I remember. I went to bed. It was like 10 o'clock at night. I went to bed not knowing, waking up to all the fucking like the October surprise, the good news. I was like, oh, he got COVID. Let's go. That was a good day on Twitter.
But we can pass it all up to American Wasp, our buddies Alex and Deter, and they're gonna have their show. I should say that Friday, just to plug it, Friday they're doing the all day, they're doing the all day fundraiser or slash stream that they're trying to get people to subscribe for the space. So I think I would exactly know what I would be doing for that, but I said today that I would join in for whatever. I'm down for whatever.
It's gonna be Jeopardy. I'm here for Jeopardy. Okay, I'm hoping that Andrea has like some like musical theater trivia, perhaps.
All right. Well. This is Absurdity Space. I'm Forrest Miller. Christina Oaks is here. We do Movie Night Extravaganza on Tuesdays at 8 Eastern. Subscribe to that. And it's also here when it's on Tuesdays. Sometimes it isn't. But yeah, I think that's it for today.
Bye.